Hi, I'm Danica. You're watching Danica the Artist. If you're a griever or just feeling stuck, this beginner art activity is just for you. Today we're going to talk about the mirror image, using art as a mirror to reflect on and to separate what we're feeling from reality. One of the best things about art is that it can be used as a mirror. Mirrors help us see what we are not able to in ourselves. When we go to a mirror, we're looking for imperfections and for perfections. We're looking for an accurate representation of ourselves, our state of being, and it helps us adjust so that we can go on with our lives. If we lived forever in front of a mirror, we would never truly live. The mirror is not our reality, but it shows us our reality and helps us adjust so that we can go out and truly live. When I was going through grief as a high school student, I was very obsessed with the question of who am I? Who is my authentic self? I had a hard time separating how I felt and what I thought from who I truly was. I painted it out in this painting called Mirror Image. I was searching which self is the authentic self, the one that I see or the one that I feel. If you look closely at this painting, you can't really tell which one is the real self that I was trying to portray. I was searching, and in this picture, I was able to communicate that I hadn't found the answer. I want to teach you how to use art as a mirror, to externalize what you're feeling, and to look at it from an objective point of view. What is going on? Is there a stray thought that is bugging you? Is there a blemish that you need to take care of? Is there something that's hindering your sight? When we look into the mirror and see ourselves in a grieving state, do you see your grief as you? Your grief is only one part of you. It's not your entire reality. It might shade your view right now, but it's not who you are and the only thing that you can ever experience. Your grief must be separated from you, just like your reflection is not the same thing as you, the person. Today we're going to talk about using our art to reflect on so we can see and understand what's going on inside of us. And then we'll use art to separate our grief and our loss, those things that we feel and think, from us, our reality, and who we truly are. Today we're going to make a collage. This is a two-faced collage because we're going to work on reflecting on our grief and then separating ourselves from it. Often we get lost in our grief, and our grief becomes who we are in the eyes or the lens that we see our world from. I want you to understand that this grief is a part of you, but it does not have to be the only thing that defines you. We will rediscover who you truly are by reflecting on these two things, and we'll write about it in the middle. So we're going to make two silhouettes today, one for ourselves, who we are, and maybe even recovering who we once were but have lost. And then the other silhouette will be the loss that we experienced, or the loved one that was so part of our lives and now is gone. This is going to help us experience reflection on our own work as well as separation from the loss. So we're going to do this with collage. Go ahead and print out the PDF that's available on this course and we'll start. Once you've printed it out, take your scissors and cut. You might have to complete the line, but once you cut, we'll do something next. Now, taking the cutout silhouette, bring in a piece of watercolor paper, and we're going to trace around using a pencil. So I'm lining up the silhouette on one side, tracing around. And then flip it over so that you have a silhouette looking at the other one. Line it up with a piece of paper. Now this side is going to represent you, and this side will represent your grief, your loss, and your loved one. The reason why we're separating this is oftentimes in our grief, we feel like we've become our grief. And while our grief is a part of us, that's true, we ourselves are not defined by it only. We need to rediscover who we are apart from our grief and apart from our loss and apart from the loved one who was such a part of our lives. So we're going to separate that out in this next part. So I have here a whole bunch of old magazines as well as the papers that we painted on in one of our first lessons. And so I have these as scraps that we'll use to create our collage. What I'm going to have you do is look through magazines and scraps of paper and pick out things that you like, that you resonate with. So maybe you like just this color and the shape, you know, that happened in the scrap. I like this yellow that's happening here. I'm going to select little bits as well. And looking through the magazines, I'll see like a dress that I like or a word. That word wonder is really cool. I'll see memories, things like that are resonating with me personally. You don't have to think too much about the two opposing silhouettes, which one it would go on, but simply find these things. And we'll start to find others when there's gaps that we need to fill in. So go ahead and take time to collect scraps. It might even be junk mail or maybe your kids' doodles on your piece of paper. Find a whole bunch of things and just look through. If you come across some picture that you like I love this one, you can ask yourself why. I think for me, it's all the colors that happen in the softness here, contrasted with the bright, stark shadows. And I think it also reminds me of home. I'm from Washington State, and so I just really love that. So ask yourself why, you might learn something. Now, when you look through your scraps, see if you can identify which side they belong to. You might have a middle that you can't tell which side it belongs to, and that's okay. You can just do a pile here for the middle, pile here for the grief and the loss, pile here for yourself. This one is definitely the loss. It's a very lonely and kind of an unknown road. This one I feel like is in the middle because I had my head stuck in the clouds a lot when I was a kid, and thinking about my dad, it's like heaven is where Dad lives now. And so when I looked at a beautiful sunset, I often got sad. But then sunsets and sunshine always make me happy as well. And so it's a very mixed experience. I almost feel like if I turned it this way, this would be the happy yay, and then this would be the, oh, sad, Dad's not with me. So I think this picture represents both. I'll keep it in the middle here. I love flowers. Those are definitely me. And these colors, that's definitely me as well. So I'll put those over here. Wonder, that's me. I like this soft purple, but I also feel soft purple in grief. Kind of like it's a thinking silence. So I'll put that in the middle. This blue, I think that belongs to me. This one as well. Salt, definitely. We learned that symbolizes ashes, so it reminds me of my grief. Stark grays and things like that as well. Actually, I kind of like this one over here because of that. It's like an artsy kind of line. I envision this. This could be like hair kind of coming down. You'll be able to see that in a second. I think a lot of my personality is not always joy and happy-go-lucky. I think the dark times and the sad times are also part of me. Make me who I am. They make me a deep person, and they form a lot of my art. So I'll keep that there. Forks are definitely over here. I love these, definitely over here. Colors. candles. This might be somewhere in the middle, I'm not sure yet. Dark, it looks like a teardrop there. Actually, I'll take my scissors and form it into one. I'll make it into a teardrop. There we go, that's pretty good. Okay. This one I almost feel like is, even though what it says, it's from a Christmas song, I kind of feel like it belongs over here. Candles, also over here, just because it's dark. These look like morning, honestly. That was from a Christmas article, but that's okay. I have some good memories of camping out in the outdoors. And also some sad in the dark. I'm not sure. I'll put that in the middle. And this one too. It's a little poem about the winter. Well, no, that would definitely be over here. Grays, looking out the window, definitely the loss. This one is me, for sure. I think pine belongs over here. I'm not quite sure why, as well as that candle. Holidays. I love holidays. These berries remind me of Christmas. Oh, I think that belongs over here. It's the cold, it's snow. This one, though, is more happy feeling. That snow on the trees in the background, so I'll keep that over here. So next we get to put together our collages. So the idea is to fill in the silhouette with the pieces of paper, the textures and colors and things that we feel like belong on one side, and these over here. So in order to do that, you can do that by looking for shapes that will fill in and kind of just meet that line. Like maybe this would go really well in my chin, or by shaping it ourselves. So this actually fits really well. And then I can just cut it to make it fit, and then I can fit something else in there. So you can kind of just shape it, and if there's no place it can fit, you can just put it somewhere. And as you go, you can think about it a lot, or you can just start shaping and then start gluing with a glue stick, or I have my hot glue gun just in case those thick pieces don't stick on their own. So I'll just start gluing actually. You can also use the template to hold over here, and then that informs how you can shape the piece to fit. And when you feel stuck on one side, you can just switch to the other side. See if you can notice patterns in what you're gluing on, what you chose to glue on. Another technique I'll show you for combining images is gluing just a part, sticking it over this image, and I don't like how it covers up entirely, but on purpose I did that so that I can rip it away. Just a little bit. Oh, that was too much, so I'll fold it back and rip it a little bit more. Okay, just like that. So the rip reveals the piece underneath. Now I noticed too something in that it was a lot easier to complete this side for me than it was to complete this side. That helps me reflect a little bit about where I'm at right now, and that I know my grief almost like a comfort. And so it's kind of hard to define who I am apart from my experience of grief because it's been so defining in my life. this makes me wonder if I'm rediscovering who I truly am, apart from my grief. And because I've known my grief for so long, it makes it hard to distinguish who I really truly am. Just a reflection in noticing my process. So already I'm noticing that a lot of alive things are here. I think also I like this silhouette of the trees because it reminds me of home. And I think I'll use it here because this picture is too big to do justice in this silhouette. So I'll use this instead. Maybe for you found it easy to fill in this side, and you found it hard to fill in this side. Now, if you think about it, that might tell you that you're struggling different from me, which is totally permissible, because everyone experiences grief differently. But what that might symbolize for you that you need to work on is understanding your grief a little bit more, so that you can acknowledge it and then say goodbye. So let's think a little bit about this painting. Let's reflect on it. Grab a pen or a pencil. It could be any color you want. I'm going to use a pencil so I have some soft lines. We're going to journal a little bit about this experience, what we noticed. So first start with what is similar about these two opposing images. Maybe you notice a color that's similar or a shape that's repeated. For instance, I see a lot of circles in each, and I notice that there's dark. So write these things in the in-between space that shows that this is a commonality. So once you've listed the similarities, go ahead and list differences. And as you list differences, you might find more similarities as well. So I see that there's a lot of live things. So I'm going to just write the word alive next to this. I see there's bright colors. I see there's more of a childlikeness. There's wonder here. So childlike wonder. I see all seasons here, where here I only see really winter gray. As you look at this, do you feel a difference starting to happen? Do you feel that you are this person instead of this one? Or do you feel like these are actually two and it's bothering you that they're separated? Do you feel like separating the two actually discredits the pain and the loss in the loved one that you said goodbye to? Notice the feelings you're having. This is a safe space in the four corners of a paper. And so write down these things as you're feeling them. Do you want to know this person more? I do. That's what I feel in understanding this. So I want to know, who is this person? behind this hair. And I want to know, is it okay to be sad? You know, this almost feels like it really belongs over here, but I wonder, is it okay that sadness is also a part of who I truly am? So I'll start by writing that question. When you feel like you have got out enough, go ahead and declare the piece finished, just for today. You are a work in progress, you yourself, but this piece is just one step in the process of understanding and healing. Show that you're finished by signing. I want to encourage you to not get lost in your grief. Your grief has defined the better part of your days for a long time, but no more. Leaving the skin of this person and becoming this person does not devalue the person that you lost, does not devalue the pain that you went through. It's acknowledging it, and I see it also becomes a part of you, a part of your personality. It will never leave. But it's not the only thing that will define you from here on out. When you finish, look at this piece and tell yourself, I am not this person. I am becoming this person. And give yourself permission to become this person and to tell this one, I've been you, I've been with you, but it's time to go. New things are ahead. Goodbye. And welcome to the new you. The things you observed that you love and that you like, and even your struggles in figuring that out. Let those things guide you next. As you go about your day, notice how you feel. Are you walking in the shoes of this person or this person? And when you see that you're walking in the shoes of this person, pat yourself on the back. Congratulate yourself a little bit. We have now reflected and separated our grief from our own selves. Look forward to the next steps as we continue on our journey. If you found some new insight or inspiration, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video. That lets me know that you want to see more videos just like this one. I'm a certified therapeutic art life coach, as well as an artist, art teacher, art minister, and creative mama. You can check out my artwork and learn more about my coaching and other projects at danicatheartist.com. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.